It's my pleasure to welcome for the second time Drew Peterson, strength and conditioning coach, PA voice, father, probably a Cub Scout leader, I don't know what else, but Drew, thanks for coming on the show.
It's a pleasure, JB. I'm shocked that you had me back for a second time after the first one.
Well, Drew, and I got to get your opinion real quick. We talked about it earlier, and I know it's, thank goodness, with President Richmond and Dan calling it a non-issue here. You went to Chico State. Western Washington recently decided to pull the plug on their football program. When that happened to you as a Chico State graduate, what was that like?
It was very disappointing. I think that, and these are NCAA statistics, that more boys play high school football than all other sports and extracurricular activities combined. And so when automatically you take that opportunity away from 100 kids, say, coming to that school each year, there's something wrong with that. And I have a hard time with it. I know Chico has suffered where they've kind of excommunicated that large alumni base. You figure that Chico's had football for 93 years before they dropped it. And so if that's 100 people there every year, now don't ask me with my Chico degree to do that math, but that's a lot of people. And it's just sad in this state where there are so many kids, boys that play high school football, that basically now you're telling them if you're not good enough to go to Division I, you're probably not going to have a chance to play.
That's too bad. Now, what do you think of our new football coach, Rob Smith? He's signing day was a big deal for the first time in a long time here at Humboldt State. Seems like he's doing things right, but you see these guys. You are the closest to programs of anyone who's not actually in a program. What are you seeing from Rob Smith?
Well, just from the top down. It all starts from the top, from the adage that everybody has accountability, that everybody has to jump in and be a part of it, and from that to recruiting. Recruiting this year, it's all based on four-year guys. Guys are going to be here 4 or 5 years. And I think Coach Smith said it the best when he said he wants somebody that wants to be at Humboldt, not that is settled on Humboldt State. And you get kids like that in here that from day one are happy to be a part of the program and willing to work hard for you. Good things are happening. I think he's doing it the right way. Instead of going for the quick fix, and there's a tremendous amount of talent out there, JUCO-wise, transfer-wise, we're going to go for the long term, make this a successful program in the long term.
What about fitting in? You see these kids, they come in and they lift weights, and I know you hear about their hometowns, whether they're from the big city, small city, east, west. How do you see kids adjusting to Humboldt State and working in it, and what kids are most successful in their transition to Humboldt State?
It is a true melting pot, especially with a program, say, as large as football, and you bring kids from the country, from the city, from the suburbs, all over, and they're into one melting pot, coming together with a common goal. And I think it's hard to say what kind of kid adapts to it the most, because there's some kids that come here, to be quite honest, that are only here to play football. And then by the end of their 2 or 4 years, fall absolutely in love with Humboldt County, Humboldt State, like I did 20 years ago.
Me too. Yeah. I'm right there with you. I came here for a year and a half and get out of here. It's been a couple years later now.
And
I love it here.
Then are in tears when it comes time to graduate that they're not going to be able to stay, that they have to leave the area. So it's all kinds that will come in here and find a home and be successful.
All right, talk about what's Tom Wood like, dealing with him. We just talked about Rob Smith, but what's Woody like? He's been here the entire time you've been here. And how long have you been at Humboldt State
This
now?
is year number 20.
Okay, so Woody's got you by about 8 or 9 years on that.
Yeah.
But what has Woody been like over the years from the old NCAC days? In fact, you may remember him when you were at Chico State, to a guy now who is the head of one of the top basketball programs in the nation.
I think the biggest thing with Coach Wood is consistency. He does not change. He does not compromise his standards or his expectations. And being a military guy and an athletic guy, I respond well to that type of a situation. And it doesn't matter if you're Fred Hooks or the lowliest walk-on that made the team. The standards are the same. The expectations are the same. And I think that's why the results speak for themselves. And you combine Coach Wood with Coach Kinder, who's a flamboyant recruiter, got a fantastic personality, and that's the winning combination here at Humboldt State.
And don't forget, folks, stick around. Last segment, we take you in the locker room, Humboldt State versus Drew's alma mater, Chico State. It's a lot of fun, that video. All right, Skip and Jody, what's that like? I mean, not only are they two different people, two different programs, but women. So how do you see the coaching relationship between you and the coaches and their players, male to female?
Well, it's different. I think Coach Cheek used to say it best with his wrestlers as opposed to his softball players. Well, you can't beat them and you can't swear on them, with the softball players. But I don't think anything changes as far as expectations. And I mean, Skip and Jody, I jokingly refer to them as the first family of basketball in Humboldt County. And they have a unique combination that they offer to the girls. Of course, Jody is the head coach. Skip is the assistant. The head coach is usually going to be a little bit more business-like, and then the assistant's kind of more related with the players and has a lending ear, so to speak, to them. And it's difficult when it's the husband and wife, because you don't want Skip to go home and tell Jody, what's going on. But they've made it work, and look at the results. They speak for themselves. And that's another thing. Jody Gleason came in and did things the right way as far as the type of person she recruited, the character that she looked for. She looked for people to fit the program. Not necessarily the greatest talent, that matters, but somebody that would fit the program, and you're seeing the end result. And I see on your show every week, the girls talk about how much they enjoy each other, how much time they spend off the court together, and that bodes well for team chemistry.
Now, do you think you and your beautiful wife, maybe she could be your assistant one day and you guys could work together? I'm impressed that Skip and Jody can even make that dynamic happen.
I don't like my wife to come visit me because then I'm not in charge anymore. She walks in for 4 or 5 minutes and I relinquish any authority that I had automatically. So that would be a tough one.
You would be the assistant coach,
I would be the assistant, yeah. Despite all my expertise and experience, I would be the assistant.
All right, Frank Cheek, here's a guy, you're a military guy, he's a military guy. He was a champion coach at wrestling and now softball. He's got 2 national championships under his belt. When you see the way he controls a team and you're dealing with him, are you surprised at those results?
No, and again, I keep using the word expectations, but from the day one that those girls arrive here, they realize the tradition that they're stepping into and the expectations that they have. And Coach Cheek is a very demanding coach. I always tell the parents, when you drop your daughter off here at Humboldt State, every bit of her time, academically, athletically, and socially, is going to be accounted for by Frank Cheek. You will know things before the girls know things. And so Frank Cheek is, 72 years old, and he outworks all of us. Now, I get here at 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, there's one car that's here before me, and that's Coach Cheek. And he's ready to get his workout in, and then he goes out and he works on the fields. And so that work ethic combined with the tradition that he's created here, that's the success story.
All right, Drews, I'm watching the NFL Combine. You're going to have a lot of kids in high school right now, and they want to make that leap forward to the collegiate level, college to pro. You want to work out, and you want to be bigger, stronger, faster, and all that. But how important is it to make sure you're applying your athleticism to actually getting it done on the field and not the weight room?
Well, that's the thing. There's guys, and Coach Smith says that we have guys that look good in their shorts, but then they get out there and put the pads on and have to go into some contact. And it all works. Athleticism is the base of their success, and strength is the base of that athleticism. And so it is a very important part of the process, but not the entire process.
Fair enough. All right, Drew, thank you so much. There's Drew Peterson. You are watching Humboldt State Tonight. I'm JB Mathers.
Ignite your senses with the warmth of a wood, gas, or pellet stove from Schaefer's Ace Hardware. In Schaefer's Stove Department, select the style of stove that fits your lifestyle before the weather gets cold. Vermont Casting Stoves. They're not only beautiful, but an efficient heating solution for your home. Let Schaefer's Ace Hardware give you a demonstration and show you the full line of wood-burning and gas stoves by Vermont Castings. On sale now at Schaefer's Ace Hardware in Friendly Henderson Center, Eureka.
Interception. The commission of the More Taste League. Bingo. You fellows have gotten your hands on some non-sanctioned light beer?
There was a big shiny display.
The league only recognizes light beer with more taste and the scant 3.2 grams of carbs. That's the yin and the yang, the bot and the bing of light beer. Yes.
So which beers are league approved?
Beer, singular, Miller Lite.
Commission's wise.
Amen!
The official beer of the More Taste League. Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling.
Miller Farms is a full-service nursery that's brimming with color. You'll find everything from beautiful plants to gardening supplies and landscaping equipment. Miller Farms staff is incredibly knowledgeable and always available to help even the most novice of gardeners. Their giftware section is full of wonderful and whimsical cards, garden ornaments, and so much more. From fountains to plants and trees to gardening supplies and specialty workshops, you'll find it all in one special place at Miller Farms on Central Avenue in McKinley.